Terrorizing the Mojave wasn't enough for Frank Horrigan, so I figured I'd bring him back and go through one of the DLCs for New Vegas and give him a little bit more time in the spotlight. Naturally, this is going to be fairly easy, so today we're going to ask if you can beat Fallout New Vegas' Lonesome Road DLC as Frank Horrigan. I already know that one comment is coming about how it's going to be brain dead easy to beat this game as Frank Horrigan, blah blah blah, but I don't care. This is for entertainment purposes, so just watch the video. We're not gonna have that argument again. Anyways, after beating the base game, I had to reset to my checkpoint before going to Hoover Dam, and I figured I would stock up on a couple supplies and go murder a few people. I'd also like to point out that in the bottom left you may notice a timer. I think I'm going to start adding these to my runs to kind of just give you guys an idea about how long a challenge run usually takes me. Some runs, like this one for example, are going to be on the shorter side, while others are going to be hours and hours and hours. It just kind of, I don't know, gives you guys some insight as to how much time I spend doing these videos, and I mean, it doesn't really, count the editing or anything, but it gives you an idea on how much gameplay there is for me to edit through. Anyways, I went ahead and murdered all the NCR at Prim, murdered a few random people that got in my way, and made my way to the Divide so that I could start Lonesome Road. I figured I had plenty of supplies for this, and I wasn't really too concerned with anything. I had a plasma caster, and a few other weapons that we'll get into later on, but the first step was for me to rescue Eddie. Not that he would really be that useful, considering, well, I'm a 12-foot tall super mutant in power armor with a plasma caster. That's just, I mean, there's really no getting past that. Frank Horrigan is truly one of the most terrifying things in Fallout history. I'm fairly certain if the Chosen One didn't have plot armor, Frank Horrigan would have mopped the floor with basically everything else in Fallout history, but we're just gonna ignore that. I went ahead and mowed through all the sentry bots, the turrets, whatever else was in here. Nothing in here was too much of a challenge, although it was pretty entertaining to watch the sentry bots blow up. I was taking more damage than I honestly thought I was, and that's when I checked my difficulty settings and remembered that I was playing on very hard because, well, Frank Horrigan. Eddie had some dialogue for me, blah blah blah. I just kind of skipped through everything. I've played Lonesome Road so many times at this point, I skipped through the dialogue. I actually do that with basically everything. Unless it's been, quite a while since I've played, I mostly just skip everything in these games. The nice thing about challenge runs is, especially with runs like this, it's something where I can just record. I can kind of just turn my brain off and have fun with the game. Challenge runs are always entertaining to do, but I feel like I get burnt out if I just do non-stop difficult runs where I'm handicapping myself with a crazy amount of challenge. So I try to mix in some actually fun runs once in a while. After killing a bunch of the marked men, I did pick up Red Glare, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna use this, because I'm pretty sure if Frank Horrigan in Fallout 2 had a fully automatic rocket launcher, like he was playing Black Ops 2 Zombies and put his shit in the Pack-a-Punch, I think he probably would have used it. So I figured it was, fine for me to use it. Of course, my main weapon was the plasma caster, and my fists. I decided I was going to start punching things to death in here, and I became lore accurate Frank Horrigan when I just broke a Deathclaw in half in 2 swings. I then went ahead and fisted a bunch of the tunnelers. Honestly, there was probably a better way for me to word that, but we're going to go with it. I kind of forgot that your character's height scales your melee damage, which actually made fist attacks do way more damage than I thought. Also, I did take some of the melee perks, so that did help. Unarmed damage is actually relatively underrated as far as New Vegas goes, and you can do a surprisingly good amount of damage with just your fists, but again, I'm sure being a 12-foot tall super mutant did help with my damage. I bullied a bunch of the marked men with my fists once again, because I figured it would be funny, and picked up a couple weapons that I wasn't going to use. I tried to be a lore accurate Frank Horrigan again, and bully a group of Deathclaws with only my fists, which did not go great the first couple times. I severely overestimated my capabilities and died, but we're going to ignore that and go to the time when I decided to just use an automatic rocket launcher to blast them back into the Stone Age. The Red Glare has a very, very terrible accuracy. I don't know why this thing sucks so bad even at close range. I went ahead and launched a nuclear missile. Figured that would be something Frank Horrigan would do. I'm sure if he had access to nukes in Fallout 2, he probably just would have nuked the shit out of everybody. It just seems like what the Enclave would be about. Well, technically they are. I mean, in Fallout 76, you do learn the entire nuclear quest line to nuke the map by joining the Enclave, so it makes sense. After that, I went to the seizure tunnel, started punching tunnelers again. I hate this section. This is the worst section of Lonesome Road. You know what? I'll say it. It's the worst section out of all the New Vegas DLCs. I don't care. I don't like that my screen is constantly shaking. I don't like that I'm having a seizure the entire time. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. I just don't like it. I refuse. It is the worst section out of all the DLCs. I take no arguments on that. After that, I went ahead, broke my legs, killed some more tunnelers, blah, blah, blah. Lonesome Road is a linear DLC. It's very fun, though, just to go through and kill things. I'd been playing too much 76 recently and forgot that fall damage was a thing, so I killed myself on accident. That didn't happen. Anyways, went ahead and blew up a bunch of nuclear warheads to kill off a couple of the marked men because, you know, easy XP. Also, I'm not sure if it's just me, but this is like the one section of Lonesome Road I always manage to get myself lost in. I don't know why, I just usually forget where to go here for a few minutes until I just wander around and find out. Also, I'm kicking myself because in editing I realized that I forgot to go deal with Rar and I wanted to fist fight him, which kind of sucks. I did plan on doing a whole segment about that, and then I just kind of turned my brain off and forgot what I was doing when I was recording, so I didn't end up doing it. Perhaps I'll include that in like a future project. Maybe my next DLC run with Frank Horrigan, I'll just pop back into Lonesome Road on one of my autosaves and just go bully Rar before starting the DLC. I don't know. I'll figure that out down the line. That's a problem for future me. Also, I'm not sure how I just got launched into the air there, but I don't question it. Honestly, New Vegas is a perfect game that has no glitches. If you say otherwise, you're a hater. Anyways, I went ahead and rescued Eddie. I mean, I'm playing Frank Horrigan, but I'm not that cruel. Little dude didn't do anything to deserve, you know, dying. I tried to snipe Ulysses and just hit his gun like 3 times before I just gave up and ran forward and then killed him. I still managed to miss. I hate the plasma caster for not having good accuracy. I don't know why it sucks with accuracy. I mean, my strength is maxed out, energy guns is maxed out. It should aim better. I take no responsibility. It wasn't my fault whatsoever. It's the gun's fault, okay? Definitely the gun's fault. I would never miss a shot. This is probably the fastest I've dealt with the marked men here. They just kind of all evaporated. I went ahead and launched the missiles at Caesar's Legion and the NCR. I figured that'll just, you know, be something I can deal with later for funsies. And with that, I beat Lonesome Road as Frank Horrigan. This DLC is generally relatively quick. Lonesome Road is one of the more linear DLCs for New Vegas, and it's probably the shortest DLC because you can just kind of walk through the entire thing. Lonesome Road is really only challenging when you're a lower level, but nevertheless, it's always enjoyable to play through this game and the DLCs, so I had a great time, especially coming back to a character that I vastly enjoyed playing the first time I did a video with him. But as always, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.